Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the new chapter Selected Snobberies by Aldous Huxley. Before translating the text, let us know something about the author Huxley. Aldous Leonard Huxley was the inheritor of the West family traditions. His grandfather was Thomas Harry Huxley, the eminent Victorian scientist. His mother was a direct descendant of Dr. Thomas Arnold, the famous headmaster of rugby, and thus Aldous Huxley was a grandnephew of the poet Matthew Arnold. Educated at Eton and Oxford, Huxley entered journalism at a very young age. He was on the editorial staff of Athenaeum and the dramatic critic of the Westminster Gazette. He travelled widely, which gave him a larger experience of life and provided him with the themes of many of his celebrated works, which came at regular intervals. As a young journalist, he composed excellent poems, but he found his element first in essays and travelogues, and secondly in his novels. Huxley was deeply interested in the problems of human life. Initially, he was a strong rationalist, analyzing the various aspects of life. He made frontal attacks on whatever was irrational and absurd. Thus, he became one of the most powerful forces among the essayists and novelists of the present century. Huxley lived through the two world wars. It was the grimness of the wars which shocked and compelled him to turn a new leaf. He left England, settled in California, and devoted himself to the pursuit of what he has called the perennial philosophy. Huxley's prose style faithfully mirrors his tremendous mental capacity. With all the wonderful sweep of his mind, Huxley is always lucid. He relates everything which he analyzes to the key problems. How to get rid of the cobwebs in our mind and live sanely and sensibly. In this respect, he at once pursues and stimulates his readers. An example of this is the paradoxical opening sentence of his essay Time and the Machine. Huxley is fond of paradoxes, through which he shows his alert and dynamic perception of unlikely relationships which escape the ordinary mind. The paradoxes are an essential part of Huxley's wit, which always bring out the most remarkable quality of his prose: his amazing energy, clarity, and precision, and natural ability to invest his writings with great erudition. Some of the best essays of Huxley are to be found in his On the Margin, Proper Studies, Music at Night, and Text and Pretexts. Now, let us start the text of this essay. selected snobberies. Now, first of all, what snobbery is. In society, there are different type of people, and some of the people they feel they take false pride in certain activities, certain possessions, that is known as snobbery. He starts saying, all men are snobs about something. He says that all men in the society, on the earth, they are snobs about something. They are with false pride about something. One is almost tempted to act. Everyone is almost interested to increase the aspects on which he can feel snob of. There is nothing about which men cannot feel snobbish. He says that in the life of a man, there is nothing about which he or she cannot feel snobbish. But this would doubtless be an exaggeration. He says that if it is considered as such, undoubtedly it would be beyond reality. There are certain disfiguring and mortal diseases about which there has probably never been any snobbery. He says that in the life of man, there have been different type of diseases, and there are certain disfiguring and fatal diseases about which no man can feel or would feel snobbish. I cannot imagine, for example, that there are any leprosy snobs. Leprosy is a disfiguring disease, and he says that I cannot imagine that there is a person on the earth suffering from leprosy and he is proud of having this disease. More picturesque diseases, even when they are dangerous and less dangerous diseases, particularly when they are the diseases of rich, can be and very frequently are a source of snobbish self-importance. He says that more picturesque diseases, more striking diseases, even when they are dangerous and less dangerous, whether that disease is dangerous or less dangerous, particularly when they are the diseases of the rich person, particularly when the rich people, they suffer from these diseases, can be and very frequently are a source of snobbish self-importance. They can be a source of self-importance. They can be a source of snobbishness. I have met several adolescent consumption snobs who thought that it would be romantic to fade away in the flower of youth like Keats or Mary Bestrich. He says that I have met with several adolescent consumption snobs, innocent people suffering from consumptive disease, who thought that it would be romantic to die away in an early age. It would be romantic to fade away and become famous like Keats and Mary Bestrich. John Keats, a renowned poet who died when he was just 26-year-old. Mary Bestrich, a Russian painter, famous Russian painter, who died in the age of 21 years. He says that They think that it would be romantic to fade away in the flower of youth, in the young age, proper young age, like kids or Mary. Alas, the final stages of consumptive fading are generally a good deal less romantic than these ingenious young tubercular snobs seem to imagine. He says that the last stages of these consumptive diseases, they are very much dangerous, and these adolescent people, they do not know how pathetic, how painful the last stage of such diseases is. To anyone who has actually witnessed these final stages, the complacent poeticizing of these adolescents must seem as exasperating as they are profoundly pathetic. He further says that to anyone who has actually witnessed, who has witnessed these final stages in his life, he says that the complacent poeticizing of these adolescent patients, they make poems for their self-satisfaction that they are suffering from such a disease. He says that must seem as exasperating as they are profoundly pathetic, must seem irritating, providing anger, as they are intensely painful, pathetic, sad. Mark it here. Thank you very much.